Good morning, you guys. We have just gotten back from a 3-week holiday and the garden has gone insane. So if you watched our previous video, you would have seen that we had put in a whole bunch of irrigation just to help at least keep things alive while we were gone. But we also had quite a few rainstorms while we were gone. So I'm going to take you through what it looks like, and boy oh boy do we have our work cut out for us. Not just veggies but the grass. I've even got my gum boots on today because I'm just a bit scared. All my vegetable beds are surrounded by grass. It's growing in, around, you name it. And a little project I had started over here was I'd actually dug all this out and all the grass has grown back. So that's quite disappointing. All right, let's take a look at the first bed. I planted these zucchinis. They hadn't even flowered when we left, and yikes, giant zucchinis. Okay, quite a few actually have blossom end rot, which is fine because the worms need some food. But whoa, like that is insane. And as you can see, it's like so full of grass. This bed has actually gone nuts, but in a good way. This was a rogue peanut plant that just kind of popped up on its own from previous year. My pepper plants have gone absolutely nuts. I'm going to have to come and harvest all of this in a minute. And on the floor is actually some rock melon, and I did see some yesterday. So I bagged a few before we left. Oh. And I did see a couple more. So here's an unbagged one that's doing quite well on its own. So that's good news. It's my passion fruit that we actually thought we'd lost completely has just shot all this new growth. So that's absolutely amazing. I can't believe this. All of this was dug out. Anyway, can barely see the bed from here. And this is partly why I'm wearing gum boots today, because I'm just scared for snakes. Carrots need to all come out today, I reckon. Sweet potatoes that I actually thought when we'd left I had lost because there was nothing. Okay, so we've lost the beans, but that's fine. That was totally expected. I'm not actually sure what this is. It's a weed, so that's got to come out. But the cucumbers are doing amazing, but I have kind of lost them because they're far too big now, and they're meant to just be Lebanese cucumbers. So I'll pick everything that's there, but I reckon they're gone. Don't even know how that got there. And over here is sweet potatoes and eggplant. So we have got an abundance of eggplant. Okay, some obviously just too much. There's far too much here. I don't know how or what I'm gonna do, but anyway, harvest all of it, I guess. Here we have some more peanuts that I had planted. They've done amazing. And oops, we have a toad. Another reason I need to have gum boots on. Okay, so the tomato's not doing so great. I just left it in. I might actually pull that out today. Give those peanuts a better chance. And then we've got my butternut. So I bagged a few before we left, and they don't actually look that great. But then the ones that I didn't obviously get to bag are looking fantastic. So I'm really pleased with some of it. We knew this would go rogue, and that's fine. We'll just mow around it because they're looking so good. So here are the bagged ones, and as you can see, they're tiny. I'm not really sure what happened there. First time growing butternut, but all my little rogue ones they're doing amazing. So we've got a few, which is awesome. And then I have to be so careful where I walk because this is actually not a weed. This is my watermelon, which I really planted too late, so I don't expect much. But I did notice at least one yesterday, which I thought was awesome. Just gotta be careful where I walk. So we've got a little one, which I'm honestly thinking is going to fall off. But I have 2 plants. You can see it's just got nuts. I did spot this big one yesterday, which is very, very cool. So we will at least hopefully get one watermelon. I've never grown watermelon. I tried last year, but I think I also planted it way, way too late in the season. The only other thing we lost was the corn. I think the extreme weather, to be honest. So I'm going to pull those out, just give everything else a bit of space. Oh, there's another one. So hopefully we just still can. Oh, and another one. Okay, so hopefully we might get at least 2 or 3 watermelons. So as you can tell, the things have gone nuts. I'm just going to take you through to the greenhouse quickly because things have gone crazy in there as well. We moved a whole bunch of plants and bits and pieces in here because we set up some irrigation in the greenhouse as well. But it's gone crazy. So then put some sweet potatoes in this pot, and it's just, I'm actually going to have to trim that, I reckon. And my boysenberry, it's crazy. I don't know much about it, first time growing it, so I'll have to do some research. I have got some chilies still being sort of over summered, if you will. It's quite hot for chilies here at the moment. A few more peanuts that I need to transplant, so they've popped up nicely. And then I guess the best and most surprising is look at my mulberry tree. So if you've been following us for a little while, you will remember that this thing was a brown stick and pretty much died. All of this green is pretty much new growth since we've been away. There was some on here, but this is incredible. And I see it's actually trying to fruit, which I'll also come and remove because this season I just wanted to focus recovering as such. And then the 2 grapes that I was worried about have actually done a fantastic job. So I'm going to just keep them in pots for the season, and we'll transplant them in spring. Now this is what's confusing to me. This was a luscious raspberry bush and is pretty much completely died. So I'm not sure if it's also just been the extreme weather we've had while we've been away, but things in here are just, they've gone nuts. So I will be coming and giving everything a bit of a clean up. Even my dragon fruit, it's got a whole new branch, if you will, so that's awesome. And actually so does the little one, so what, it's been ideal conditions. We also moved the pomegranate. Now it keeps flowering and no fruit, and that's fine, let it do its thing, but it's remarkable. It's absolutely just not quite doubled, but it has got a lot more growth on, so very, very exciting. Now I don't know if this was just a picture I put up on Instagram or if I actually filmed it. I don't think I did, but we had a couple of rogue pumpkins or butternuts, we're not sure just yet, just randomly grow in the grass. So we think we've accidentally brushed them into the grass, or you know, birds have transplanted them, but we're leaving them as a little experiment because, as I've mentioned a few times before, our soil here is no good. But they look so good. I can't, like, have a look at this. But just look at the mess we have to clean up. This grass is just nuts. And our mower is not strong enough for this, so yikes. My potatoes don't look very healthy either, but they are still green, so I'm going to leave them. I may just dig around a little bit and just see if anything's ready to pick. Check these weeds out, guys, it's nuts. But I know I don't show much of our garden because there's really not much to show, but I am just like, whoa, with the growth. So these hadn't even popped up yet by the time we had left 3 weeks ago, so that is incredible. And they are a sort of deep maroon sort of sunflower. The trees, which is this middle one and that one over there, have easily doubled in size, no jokes. I think it's just the conditions, the rain. We've had quite a bit of rain and we very clearly underwater, but all of a sudden I've got weeds I've never had before, so yikes. But I wanted to show you this garden. So yes, okay, a whole lot of the ground we can cover stuff is just weeds, but I think this has probably tripled in size, no jokes. That's an arrowroot from memory, it was given to us. I've got random grass and weeds growing everywhere, but my sunflowers have all popped up, which is awesome. So Sven and I've got our work cut out for us, because all of that's grass, weeds. Oh, just crazy. It is about, I think, 7:30 a.m. at the moment, and it is, I'm sweltering, it is boiling. So not too sure we're going to film a whole lot of the big cleanup, but let's go and see what we can harvest. I do need to do a bee update sometime soon, probably check on them tomorrow, but look at our fence line and just see how much grass there is. It's, well, probably weeds. It's crazy. I wouldn't even be brave enough to walk through there, so yikes, yikes, yikes. I just wanted to show you guys 3 other garden beds before I get to harvesting, because you can't even tell where they start and end. Look at this mess. Like, you wouldn't even know there's a garden bed there. So this one actually has some black border around it that you can't even see, and the grass is just growing all the way through. I just don't get it. Like, around our septic we had a perfectly sort of cut out section. I mean, this is long, as you can see, very wet. See, we had quite a bit of a cut out section. I could barely make out my garden. Yikes. But my cornflowers are looking pretty good. And then here's the other one. No border around it, so it's a bit tricky to even sort of see where it starts and where it ends. Yikes. So I think I'm going to start with these eggplants and see what I can salvage, and anything we can't, I will just feed to the worms. I mean, they're pretty healthy looking sizes too. I mean, that's just awesome. So there must be at least another 20 on the bush, but I think I will just take these for today. And I reckon I'm going to ask around if anyone wants some eggplants. So that was on the floor. Obviously, definitely worm food. It looks alright, but I think it might just be bitter, but we'll try before calling it worm food. This one's already gone yellow, so compost and worm food. Whew. Same as that. Like I say, I think the majority of this is going to just get composted really. tidy up. We may try this one as well. So that's 6. It's not terribly wasted, but I do need to give the actual plant a bit of some love and attention. There's another gorgeous one coming, so keep an eye on that one. But I'll come back to that. So I think what I want to do next are those carrots. Oh, I don't even know how I'm gonna get in here actually. And I've got some rock melon in here as well, and I can see a few, so that's very exciting to me. Oh, still little. I need to figure out when to pick them. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's getting stuck on all the grass. Let's see what's going on in here. Carrots. Not bad. Oh, okay, that one's not so good. That's a pretty good looking carrot. They're not all ready. Some have been eaten, or something's gross. They've split actually. So they may have been in here for a bit too long, I don't know. Yeah, this is quite strange. Oh, jeepers. So weird. Oh, look. That was so cool. So let's give these guys more space then. Because I've now pulled out all the carrots. Phew, as you can tell, it's very hot. So I'm going to start wrapping this up pretty quickly. I think we're going to move on to zucchini next. And then I'll just take a quick look at those butternuts and capsicum. And then I think I need to do a little bit of reading to see when to actually harvest those rock melon. Alright. I do think, due to this size, a lot of this is going to be worm food. That is ridiculous. There's one. 2. I think only 2 actual edible ones. Well, they're still too big, but the rest have got some blossom end rot. So I'll clean that up quickly. Quite a few. Oops. Oh. Okay, so first casualty. Oh. still cut it and see. Stacks on here, but they're not all as big as they could be. So these are actually California wonders, so that's why I'm sort of hesitant to pick a whole bunch of them just yet. They could definitely be bigger. We have stacks coming. Incredible, actually. And so far I think I've only wasted one. Not wasted, we've only lost one. So I might pick some of these ones. The plant's just getting quite heavy. Too shabby. Oh. I'm gonna say he's not really ready either. No. Well, that's it from all the harvesting, and as you can see we have sure got our work cut out for us. But let's take a look at everything we managed to pick today. Okay guys, so that is everything I managed to harvest. There's of course a stack more to go, but not everything is quite ready at the moment. So I'm really pleased. I guess the only things we won't be able to use are the zucchinis, because let's be real, that is ginormous and it's gone really hard. I was hoping I might be able to bake with it, but I think it's just going to end up in the compost, but that's okay. So I did actually manage to get 8 eggplants, and like I said, there's probably a good 20 still on there. We got 4 butternut. He's not quite ready, but I accidentally broke it off, so just see how it goes. I did actually end up picking 2 melons. I do think I've picked them just a tiny bit early. They really should have been a bit more creamy in color, and they're still quite green. But I did read that if they were a little unripe, we can actually use them in a salad, so that's awesome. I've managed to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 capsicum, and I've probably got another good 20 or so on there as well. And then my 2 giant cucumbers, which we're going to do a taste test on today and see if we can actually eat them or not. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned as we harvest quite a bit more from our garden.